crazy topic. Right or wrong, don't know. We're just spitballing here. When a comedian, musician, artist gets to a certain level of wealth, or just regular business, man, woman, child, whoever, when you get to a certain level of wealth, does something snap and do you turn into a loony? I mean, so some of the people we were talking about, like an Elon Musk, Tim Cook, Tim Apple.
Tim Cook lost his mind?
We're just bringing up people.
I'm just bringing up people. But when you reach a certain level of wealth, and we were talking about Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, when these people get so much money, their art suffers a little, or a lot, or their business acumen, or their business decisions, a la the Epstein files, and on and on and on. Right? Something's got to flip. Right? I mean, there's evidence.
Seems that way.
That's what it. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to talk about it, because it's not only musicians and the artistic types. Do you get to a certain level of wealth and your fucking mind goes?
I think that there's certain personality types that they crumble. It's like, some people just shouldn't drink. They have one too many drinks and they turn into a different person.
Yeah.
Because they have so much suppressed.
Good point.
Yeah.
Some people, I think, when they have too much power or too much money, they just, I don't know. They do appear to become a different person.
Yeah.
But it's not true with everybody, thankfully. Small sample size in my head of billionaires I know, like Paul McCartney. You mentioned Dave. I don't know if Dave Bowie is a billionaire. He's definitely a millionaire.
I think
David certain Bowie personalities kind of maintain. They never lost their soul, for the course of their career.
You can debate the level of their craft,
sure.
And after
sure.
a certain price point.
Right.
However, Bowie seemed to be the same, and I think I would be really surprised if he wasn't a billionaire, or damn close.
They also have fame, Fame's with them, not just money. They have money and fame,
True.
So you got both. That
Yes.
might even be harder. It's just
that's a good point too. So
I think it's where you put your time. I think some of it too is, you got all this money. If you got now an excess of time, let's say, you might be working, but a lot of them aren't. They're part. Next thing you know, what are you doing with that time? And I think that's where it can start to derail. Because when they're coming up, I take this from experience. You got no time. You're busy and grinding and occupied. And what happens when you're not occupied? It's derailment. Maybe there's that.
Good point. Good point. All good points. And I think once you get to a certain amount of podcasts too, you lose your fucking mind. Yeah. I think once you get past 360, you just go fucking loony.
Clearly.
But we're on the road to Arizona, and we're traveling through the night. We have a 19-hour drive to a wonderful place called Lake Havasu, Arizona. Very excited about this. That's Turbo. That's Chad Gruntley back there. He's been grunting. I heard you. Oh, look at my hat. Arr. Do you want my hat, Chad?
What? No.
Let you say
How
that.
come you get to wear it? You only let me wear it one time.
He's got a thong on.
Yeah, I know.
You notice
It's the Arizona thong. I think there's so much pressure once you get to a certain level of wealth, and obviously there's a class, you get into a certain level of society or whatever, and you got to keep that up. You got to keep that, the analogy is, keeping a piece of paper pinned to the barnyard door with a stream of water, just trying to keep that and trying to keep up with the rest of the people. And I just, again, coming from us, it's got to be strange to go from just a regular person into that amount of wealth to where you just, you have to hire people this is what just blows my mind. You have to hire people to manage your, different accounts, lawyers, just such a huge
It's like
staff.
your own nannies. Look at Tiger Woods. Look at all that money happening. It's just boom. It's like, what are you doing? You got the wife, the kids, you got all this stuff. What are you doing? Why would you? That's what I don't get. Why would you build all this up And then now you got 3 marriages and all this craziness. And I'm going, you spent all this energy and all this work just to dive bomb down? That sounds awful to me. It's like,
yeah. Here's another, like John Cleese would say on his tours, he would say, I think I've even heard Mark Knopfler say it. They have to keep touring because they have so many ex-wives and they're paying, so, and I've heard that.
wow.
And to me, that just blows my mind
That
as well.
sounds crazy.
Yeah. I just go,
What's the name of this tour? The Alimony Tour?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's mind-boggling. If you're John Cleese and you start, you're responsible for Monty Python. You're responsible for, this whole new, they lit the fire. They started
Innovators.
So innovators. Without them, it's like the Beatles. If you're John Cleese, you should never have to work again. People should just throw money at you.
You earned it, man.
Yeah. So John Cleese, again, he's not missing a meal. There's no question. Mark Knopfler, I'm sure, is still,
Yeah. He could live off of money for nothing for the rest of his life if he wanted to.
Yes. Same with Paul McCartney. All these people.
Yeah.
I think what would help people is the early guardrails you put in place. The things that you have to put in place so as you start to get all this success.
Yeah, you've always said that.
You got to have this in place. Preventative. It's like, we were just talking about this conflict. It's like preventative. Let's take care of it before it's a problem. That way, when the problem comes, we already know how to handle it. We already know what to do. We're already ready to go. If not, what happens? You're moving so fast. You got $1 billion. Yeah, dude, you're not working through it. You're just getting a new setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? You can't just keep repainting the wall and not fix what's behind the paint. It's like you gotta. That's the thing. You gotta take care of the actual problem. I think Chad's got the point right on the money. The addiction to dysfunction, which is like alcohol, right? They have the addiction to whatever it is. I think people who are ultra dysfunctional are going to be that way whether they have $1 billion or they got check to check. It's just $1 billion is going to attract more people to them.
Yeah.
That's why it's bigger.
Yeah, especially if they have substance abuse issues or whatever. I guess it's a different issue, but the money becomes enabling for whatever their dysfunction is. And a lot of these people are surrounded by yes men, because they have so much power that nobody wants to say no to them.
So give me a couple of example of people that went from top to bottom rapidly, like Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer.
MC.
Yeah,
Fucking the Puff Daddy. Sean Combs.
Sean Combs.
Yeah, Puff Daddy. Did you see that thing yet? Did you watch the show?
That guy did.
It's crazy, dude. I was like, how is this?
Yeah, but he lost it, or he is losing it because of.
Yeah, he hasn't lost his wealth, but
That's what. Yeah,
he's lost.
well,
his
he's
freedom.
going to, right?
Yeah,
I think he's that guy's mentally ill. He probably was.
Yeah.
It was going to happen to him either way.
Like somebody like a Billy Joel back in the day, Billy Joel. Back in the day when you got Bruce Springsteen as well, all these people that got screwed by management, family members. Your boy Dane Cook.
Oh, that one.
Technically not a comedian.
No way. I like him.
No, he's not. He's not.
Here's the thing: is I was early 20s when he came out. That humor was my humor.
I know.
It was like right in line with it.
I understand. Still, I've never heard him make a joke, but that's all right.
The Kool-Aid Man, that one's great, dude.
No, there's no way.
Naughty Kool-Aid. Oh, that one's so good.
There's no way.
I stand firm with that.
But he's still wealthy, I'm sure, but he shouldn't be. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. I'm just having a go. People that go from everything to nothing. Yeah, the MC Hammer one, I don't know why that came to my head. I don't know how it crept into my skull, but that story, I remember back in, I think it was the MTV days, and they were talking about his rise and fall and how he was just buying these houses and putting all these marble and pure gold fixtures in them and doing all this stuff and just blowing through. Elvis, another great one. He didn't die penniless, and thanks to the shrewd business acumen of Priscilla and my ex Lisa Marie, they brought the Elvis Presley enterprise back. I mean, from the dead.
Yeah.
But again, he was one of these people that just blew through money, and again, kind of lost his mind. When he got to the very top.
Yeah, he was isolated, depressed.
Yeah.
He had I think he was suffering from cabin fever in a big way. He just ate too much and didn't have a healthy enough support group around him. I think.
Yeah.
People kind of talk real shit with him.
Colonel Tom Parker just driving him to the grave.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point being, at what dollar amount, it would be very interesting to see. And of course, everybody's so different. Everybody's got so many, and so many exes, or so many houses, or so many this or that, drugs, on and on and on. But it would be really interesting to see at what point, at what dollar amount. I know it's not the money, but where was the top, and when did the fall begin? You know?
For the sake of the story, we got to pick a number.
Yeah.
What's the number?
What's that number?
2 billion?
It depends who we're talking about. Because Mr. Elon Musk has been a for a long time. He is on his way to $1 trillion. I think he's going to be first to $1 trillion if the models hold, right? I think it's number one. Then
that's on its way.
Bezos.
He's got to be up there too.
The stories I've heard about Elon, though, is that he really was a dick the whole time. He's just become more bold publicly about revealing his dickishness. Because I used to admire the crap out of him.
Yeah,
until he started opening his mouth.
But it also came to light too. These companies are not built from the ground up by him. He's acquiring these companies that are kind of, so, and you've got to be. Somebody said something to me one time, and I wish I could remember who it was because I'd love to give them credit or shine a light on. Like, hey, wait a minute. But we were driving through River Oaks in sunny old Houston, Texas, which is a beautiful neck of the woods. And there's just these multi-million dollar homes and just beautiful, very, 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 very easily the most sought after, spot in Houston. And the houses are beautiful. They've all got beautiful, amazing landscaping, big oak trees, and all this stuff. And somebody said to me one time, we were driving through there, they said, all these houses, I forget now how they said it now that we're recording, of course, but it was along the lines of the crimes that were committed for this amount of money. I was like, wait, you think everybody that owns a big house is a criminal? And they were 100%. I mean, yeah. I was like,
kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, you can be very, very wealthy, and you can be successful, and you can still be a good person. Like I was picking on Elon Musk because there are no Elon Musk hospitals or schools or medicines or that on and on. Mark Cuban, I hate to say, I don't think he's from Dallas, but I think he lives in Dallas, which is a strange choice for somebody that can afford to live elsewhere. But kidding. But he puts his money where his mouth is. He's starting his own drug company. He's starting his he is a true entrepreneur, and he looks for and seeks the business go-getters, the people that are doing the work. He is an amazing mind, and great energy and stuff like that. That's the kind of, and he hasn't lost his mind. He is still he's pretty sharp, Yeah. He was the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, which you got to take some points away for that, but he just hardworking, nose to the grindstone kind of guy,
Yeah.
And he hasn't. I was telling before the cameras went on too. Guy that does our air conditioning. His name is Tommy. He used to live in Seattle, and he had worked on Bill Gates's air conditioning when he lived out there. Didn't know who he was, and he had sat with him after the job was finished and talked for a while. Said, real nice man, and not that. Then he found out later from his co-workers that was Bill Gates' house. Microsoft said, oh shit. So, but now all this stuff's coming out.
That's the guardrail shit I'm talking about, dude.
It's so weird.
I mean, isn't it pretty obvious that if you get in the rich club, right? And I get these circles crisscross and people know each. I get it. I'm understanding the excuse side of it, but if I'm the new billionaire and I find out a rumor about that, fuck it, you are gone, and anybody who associates you is gone. I don't care if I'm alone. Like, that's what you got to do. Those are the real fucking leaders, man. Like, that's what you got to do.
Mel Gibson, Jim Carrey, talking years ago about Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Speaking years ago about the dark side of Hollywood, and nobody gave them the time of day.
Yeah.
Essentially blackballed, you know? And come to find out that a lot of this stuff is in these files. And that just blows my mind. I do not understand that. And to me, that's not a price point.
What did Jim Carrey say about the business back then?
They all just tried to expose the people, the Harvey Weinsteins, I don't want to say the Scientologists or, you know, but just the people that would tell you, hey, this is your, you know, this is what you're going to do next. And they're like, no, I'm not. And they would stand up against them. Another guy that did this, one of my favorite comedians still, as Cat Williams.
Oh, yeah.
And he stood up against it. And he went on again, apologies for the length of this ramble, but he went on that, it was a podcast, and he talked about everybody.
Shannon Sharp's podcast.
Shay. Club Shay. Yes.
Club Shay.
Yes. He went on there, and he ripped back, he didn't rip back the curtain. He tore it down, and he just pointed, and the thing, I don't know, I don't like Kevin Hart. I've never liked him. I've never watched the movie. I just never thought he was funny. I think it might be Dane Cook's dad. Just kidding. That's
cool.
Thank you. And again, this is just one very, very small example. No offense, Kat. But, he talked about Kevin Hart's appearance in Hollywood. He said, you never saw him grinding it out in the clubs before. He just appeared. He said, you never saw him with a line around, until the light went on him. There he was selling out stadiums, but you never saw him grinding on his way up. And that's what hit me like a ton, because then I remembered what Mel Gibson had said about, you know, and you know, he went on that anti-Semitic rant when he was hammered. They called him drunk driving and some of that. The stuff that apparently you're able to get away with when you're towing the line. Dave Chappelle talks about it too. They're trying to get all these black men to wear a dress. He said, no, I'm not doing that. And they said, come on, it'll be funny. All the greats have done it. And his response was, well, then it's already been done. So let's do something funny. I was like, what a great retort.
Yeah.
Cat Williams talks about that interview in his newest special that just came out.
Oh, really?
It's like less than a couple weeks old, I think. It's got to be just a couple weeks. We watched it the day it came out. And he talks about that. And he was like, I said all that? Like, and he was like holding the little, you know, oh, man, it's kind of funny. You know, he kind of like, he didn't downplay it, but he just like, he tried to unpressurize it a little bit, I think. But, well, it was good.
Chappelle called him the most hated man in comedy.
That's what he talked about, too, about how everybody's mad at me.
Yeah. Well, I saw him on Christmas. I saw that. And he was spectacular. It wasn't as good as the 2 or 3 before it, but again, he hasn't lost his edge.
Yeah,
he's
great.
He's still punchy. He's still, and we've done this before, but let's get some of your greats. Who's some of your top comedians? You know, like,
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard?
Izzard.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of my faves. I always have a soft spot for Robin Williams. You know, I think that he kind of lost his edge with the stand-up towards the end of his career.
Yeah, well, and he was in a dark place too.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy.
Richard Pryor, yes.
I like Greg Giraldo. You know,
I love Greg Giraldo.
I just think he would be, especially in this time frame, everything that's going on.
Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, he would be the fucking top dog, like the top dog right now, especially with everything that's going on. This is your forte. Like he would be hammering everything.
All right. I'm going to give you two that are less known. And, of course, the guy that we talk about all the time is Mr. Doug Stanhope. Yeah. And not because he's been a friend to the band and but I'm going to say I'm going to say Doug Stanhope and Dave Attell. I'm going to say this, and lunacy, but I didn't know this. Dave Attell doesn't repeat his jokes.
Wow.
When he says it on the mic, that's it.
Wow.
And I heard some comedians talking about how great his set. All these comedians look up to him. Doug will tell you the same thing. Mr. Doug Stanhope. Tip the hat. They'd heard comedians saying, I'm going to take those jokes because he doesn't use them again. Mm. And I'm going to use them. Like we're going to recycle his joke. I mean, the guy is, and he's as brilliant as, he does a great, you'd enjoy this chat. He does when he was doing his Insomniac, I think it was for VH1 or one of those things, but he was doing his TV show. Yeah, he'd just go from town to town, but he did Houston. And it was just great. He was a laugh stop in Houston. Yeah. And then he goes driving around and he goes by all the old haunts. It's a step back in time, of course, but just a nice piece of Houston history.
I mean, it's been ages since Dave has actually done stand-up, but he did it his monologue every night. I love David Letterman.
David Letterman. He would never go. He never admits to being a stand-up. So always just stomps on his his genius.
Yeah.
And he was the greatest. Oh my God. I agree with you on that. And somebody that he gave birth to, essentially, comedically anyway, was Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh yeah.
And Jimmy Kimmel's mind works as fast and as clear and as concise and as funny and as brilliant as anybody's I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In any situation, he is he'd nearly be unmatchable. If he wasn't on a network show, television show where they have to be PG, I think he would just destroy.
Jim Gaffigan's another one.
Jim Gaffigan, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows we went to.
Yeah.
I saw him in Seattle. Oh, man, that was so
He's
cool.
a multifaceted dude, too. There's a weird science fiction movie that came out, I think a year or two ago that he was in. It's really good. Can't remember what it's called now.
Brian Regan, I talk about him often. Brian Regan is the cleanest, funniest comic. Not funniest, but one of the cleanest comics I've ever seen. And to me, that's like running 10 ultra marathons in an afternoon, but opting to, throw weights on your back, just crazy shit. And again, there's so many. And to me, it's like a musician. You cannot, although I was trying to decide who I would put number one and number two as far as great Irish guitar players, it's just so difficult to rate them. You can rate them, in your own mind, but I can't tell you or you, that my pick is better than yours because, obviously it's all relative. It's all personal taste, blah, 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 on and on and on. But, these comedians are so incredibly gifted to get up and to do that. To hear them talk about doing an hour special, how much material you have to write to make that hour, Yeah. Very impressive shit.
Yeah.
My little brother's doing 5 minutes at that Comedy Bliss. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Fred and them are going. They messaged me about it. Yeah,
Can Craig send us a clip so we can put it on here?
I think he said my dad's going and they're going to videotape it. So, because my dad moved to Phoenix, so he's there.
Does he have a stage name?
I don't know. He said he's like, kind of did this improv thing, and he's all, dude, they give you 5 minutes, so he's like, I'm just going for it. I want to do it. They have a flyer and everything. He's like, I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I was like, hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I wish I had all the details memorized. I just don't. I could pull it up on my phone, but.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So.
That's
incredible. I can't believe I didn't tell you that. I forgot about it. It just happened like.
Maybe we'll just put a marker here so Craig doesn't get angry.
No, that's fine.
I'm kidding. No,
yeah, I shared it online, but he was telling me how to do it. It was so funny because I was like, oh, I'm going to get him as Big Brother. So he was like, he goes, let me tell you one of my bits, and then, tell me what you think, kind of thing. He was like, he kind of just wanted to tell me. Yeah. And so I said, yeah, go ahead. And in my mind, I went, no matter what he says, I'm going to Big Brother burn him. No matter what. And so he tells me, and I was just dead silent. And he goes, hello? And I go, oh, that was the end?
Oh.
And he was like,
oh.
I go, I'm just kidding, dude. And we kind of both laughed. Like, it was like, we had this little laugh moment, like, I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not bad, and he knows I'm just messing with him, and so.
Have you ever written a joke?
Written a joke?
Yeah.
No.
I don't
Not that I
think
recall.
so. I leave those to you, man.
I might have.
Leave those to you.
You might what?
When I was a teenager or a kid, I might have dabbled in that type of stuff, but I don't really remember writing jokes. I'd write skits. My friend Nathan and I would write skits.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Were they funny?
We thought they were.
Do you have any recorded?
I do have one. They were like characters that we made up. It was really like inside humor.
Yeah.
I don't really know if anybody else would find it funny.
I'm sure that's how Monty Python started.
Yeah, we would laugh. Things we'd be laughing about amongst ourselves, and we'd say, "Wouldn't it be funny if this happened?" And we did that a few times. We'd write it out and
wow.
put it
I
on
mean, that
camera,
takes
so, yeah.
That takes
I mean, there was a time when I really wanted to be in a troupe like a Monty Python style skit comedy troupe, but I just never really pursued it.
I can tell.
We were kids. We always did movies.
Made movies?
Not like that.
Oh, damn it.
No, my parents had like that old school, you put the VHS recorder in there, the big giant one, and they would let us use it. And when they didn't let us use it, we'd use it anyway. And
yeah.
But we would like decorate the bedroom and like do pirate movies and like we would just make up a story.
Yeah.
And my mom used to like have a after school daycare, so there'd be all these kids there. And
oh, nice.
Yeah. So we would they would be the actors. You know what I mean? We would all right, we're going to do this thing about, we'd set up the Monopoly board and the game goes south and we shut the game and just the dumbest stuff.
Yeah.
I remember Sean, sorry, I stole a sidebar. I remember Sean, he was the singer of this band I was in a long time ago. He was one of the little kids in my mom's after school thing.
What was the band called?
The Easy Kill. And Sean, I remember he used to go, he always wanted to hang out. Hey, can I hang out with you guys?
Yeah.
And I just remember one time I said, derogatory, I said, no, get the F out. And I kicked the door shut on him. And I'd forgotten that I did that. And that's unlike my character, but I don't know why I was doing that. I had friends that were trying to be cool. But he brought that up to us as adults when we're playing in the band together. He's like, do you remember doing that? And I'm like, sorry. True story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I think you should be a comedian.
I'm a comedian.
He is a comedian.
I'm
No,
hilarious.
on stage, man.
No.
He is on stage.
I am on stage.
He does it every show.
But no, this is not true. I forget
Solo
what it was.
comedian. Don't make me have to describe all the way down to the bottom.
No, I there's no way. There's no way. I respect the craft so much. And getting on stage with just a microphone. Now, I've done acoustic shows before, but you're kind of hiding behind the guitar. But to stand up there and to
Be vulnerable like
yes.
that.
Still, but I don't want to downplay or you to downplay what you do because it is that's part of your whole thing of who you are on stage is this amazing flow. Like you talk about Dave Attell never telling the same joke. You don't, I mean, there's some chestnuts you'll throw in, but every show, it's like we always talk about every show is different the way we play, even if it's the same arrangement, we're not going to do it exactly the same every single way, every single time. But you come up with jokes on the spot all the time, whether you're on stage or not. And part of your energy for that, I think, is the fact you already have people paying attention to you because you're on stage, and you're riding on the adrenaline of being in a performance, and so it's something very very special that I think is one of the big reasons why people love this band so much is your banter between the songs.
I appreciate that. I think you're wrong on that, but because there's been many times where I think of something after the fact, like, oh God, that would have killed. However, I don't have the discipline to write it down because,
Yeah.
And again, let me call back Mr. Doug Stanhope. And again, I'm beating the shit out of this point. but I'm not naming him because he's been so good to us and such a, just such a brilliant comedian. But he said, and I'm not quoting, but along the lines of, there's just so much fucking comedy right now. You got a phone and you got free time and they post this shit and he goes, it's just everywhere. But then there's other comedians that will tell you, another one of my absolute favorites right now is Mr. Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. And you talk about somebody that uses, the Stephen Wright, joke, nonstop. Anyway, he said that this is the gold rush right now of comedy. He said
Really?
it's never going to get better. He said, and it's not going away. He said, but it's never going to get bigger than it is right now.
Why is that?
That's just his gauge. This is a guy that's been around comedy for, he's been a student of comedy for so long. Now, I'm going to go back to Doug Stanhope when he was ranting about the fact that there's so many comedians, and you know what I mean? And this has been on my tits for a while. It just bugs the shit out of me. I'm glad they're doing it, but it's obnoxious to watch. But there's all these little mom and pop shops that are doing these comedy skits. They're all doing this stuff. The staff will get behind the bar and they'll do something silly and and I understand it. We talked about that on episode 366, SlapperCast, your weekly podcast with Blaggards.
Number one in the galaxy.
In the galaxy, amen, forever and ever, in perpetuity. We talked about this and we spoke on how these companies, these small businesses are getting choked to death by taxes, by new rules, by new regulations. It just seems like they're trying to push out anything. Let me tie in the social media shit too. It seems like they're trying to choke and kill and stamp on and, eliminate all these fucking they're not going after, what were the places like the TGI Fridays, with the bar and people would go after work and,
Bennigan's.
Bennigan, all that shit. They're not going after them, but they're going after all the Mollies and the Home Sweet Farms and the O'Bannons and all these great small clubs and taxing the shit out of them. And just, people think, oh man, I'm not paying, $5.50 for a beer. I can get, you said, no, you don't understand. You're missing the point. This is an incredible community building scene. Live music, no cover charge. They take care of the talent. They bring in the stand-up community, whoever it is. So I'm tying all this in together. And again, forgive the long, we got 19 hours to go. You're screwed. It seems like all these places are just trying to push them all out and make way for everybody to stay the fuck at home on a device and not do this, not, of course,
Yeah.
we're just driving to our gig, but we still, after Bullet Grill House, Point Blank, Texas, go get yourself a burger. After that, we were able to just sit there and, just bounce shit, we just talk for an hour without blinking,
Yeah.
Why? Because so much, to say and so much, so much great stuff coming up. It really is. It's deflating having to think about the energy it takes to keep these places afloat.
Yeah.
They should just be packed. O'Bannon's is a great example of, a place they can open their doors and just have people in there, but they choose to put good-looking, hard-working, personable staff behind the bar. And Chris Steele cares so much that he makes sure that every single beer on tap, every single drink that goes across the bar is well made and, service with a smile.
Yep.
That's, Eamon from Molly, same thing, making sure that there is consistency in all his pubs. He may only have 20 pubs, poor guy, but there's no dip in quality in any of his establishments,
Yeah.
Contrabalance, Woodlands, Texas. Great staff. I happen to love two of them more than life itself. but the whole place runs so smooth. Every time I walk in there, I feel like I got a massage for my soul. But I did, I just feel like it was, we got to have that. You get to people, they smile, they're happy, they're there, and we're losing all this shit. We're losing all this shit to people says, "Oh, we're just gonna stay home," and no. Again, much appreciation to all of you for tuning in and watching and listening and talking about it, telling your friends, blah blah blah. Paddy's season is officially in full gear and top gear. Can't wait to see you all over the merry month of March.
Yes, sir.
See you all soon.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.